Good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a nice day, and welcome to our webinar today. This is Dr. Al-Zahra Ahmad Al-Mwafi, Assistant Researcher at the Child Health Department of the Medical Research Division at the National Research Center in Egypt, and the conference unit member. The conference unit is very glad to be hosting this series about Reaxys as a solution offered by Elsevier. Today we will be having our second session, as we had a previous introductory session about Reaxys last January 18. You can go back to the website, conference unit at conferenceunit.com, and find our previous recording of this introductory session about Reaxys. We are having our speaker, Mr. Alexey Moisif, Life Science Solutions Customer Consultant at Elsevier, Russia, Turkey, and CIS countries. Welcome, Mr. Alexey, in this Reaxys series. We'll be having during March this year. We'll be having further 5 sessions during this month. Hopefully you have downloaded the participant guide that you can find either on the website or in the confirmation email you received just after submitting to the conference, to the webinar. So you can get this participant guide, all the information about the agenda for today, and some further readings and useful websites and frequently asked questions. We will be starting our webinar today entitled Materials in Reaxys. Welcome, Mr. Alexey.
Thank you, Dr. El-Mwafi, for introduction. And now I think we can start. Thank you, everyone, for attending today our event. Today we will be talking again about Reaxys from another point of view, from point of view of material science. It will be focused only on this question, on the properties of material, properties of substances. Coming to our agenda, will be this very short introduction to Reaxys. I plan do not talk too much by my slides and focus on working directly in the database. My task is showing the tools to search substances and materials, search reaction. For sure, not focus on reaction, because for material science it's important to understand how to synthesize materials, but we will not focus, spend a lot of time on this. But I'm planning to show you more detailed how to use text search fields, for example, for different purposes that related to material science, how to use and find properties, how to find material with unique combination of properties, how can you optimize the properties of materials that you're going to work, and some other practical questions like commercial availability of the substances will help you understand, is it possible to buy it from some worldwide suppliers, or you need to find some chemical way of synthesis of this material, how to export data, and other tasks. You can interrupt me and ask the questions in chat. A couple of words, what is Reaxys? Reaxys is the biggest chemistry information database. It's used in all the countries over the world by scientists, R&D departments, academia, for educational needs. It's also support teaching excellence in chemistry and education. Let's go directly to database. As I was telling you, it's much better to show examples directly in the database. I think you already was trying to use it and know how to enter this Reaxys over AKB website, because our colleagues already explained you several times how to do it. The first thing when you're entering system, you see this picture. Database updating very often. Last update was 28th of February. It's updating every week, sometimes 2 times of week. And it included a lot of extracted information about substances, chemical reactions, documents, and also about properties of materials and different chemical and experimental facts that was extracted from this huge amount of document. We have a lot of instruments, like most simple instrument is quick search. Here you can ask any question to Reaxys, and artificial intellect of Reaxys will try to find the answer. Here you have a lot of hints how to use it. It appear every several seconds that giving you idea how to use Reaxys. Even without our trainings, without my trainings, you can understand. It will give you a first understanding how to use Reaxys. And you will be able to make first requests to this database. Come back to our slides. As I was telling, the most value of Reaxys is the extracted data that extracted from the document, from the books, from patents, from magazines, and from conferences materials. It's all the extracted information available for you. If we're talking about properties, you can place into the database the name of your material or substances you're learning, and you will immediately have all the properties available for this material. It could be boiling point, or for example solubility. If we just click to the property you need, and you immediately have all the information extracted from the document, and you even don't need to go to the full text of document. Everything is already extracted. You can use information directly from the database. There are a lot of properties of materials extracted, and also a lot of filters that helps you to find your topic, find your scientific point, scientific interest, and also help you to find materials, find processes, find other things that will help you in your scientific work. It's also you can organize over these search fields, looking for materials with unique combination of properties, and that exactly fits for your scientific work, for your needs, for your experiments, for your process, for your technology, so on and so on. Just click on the properties and you finding the information. Very fresh information. Last month we updated dramatically patent content. It's now Reaxys is #1 database, chemical database, covers information from the more than 100 patent offices, and this content is available for you now. It's really helps. I will also show you how it helps you in your work. For example, you are interested in polymer, working with polymers. Just place it in quick search. You will find a lot of documents related to polymers and relevant to this task. more than 1 million documents. You can go to show results and show really huge amount of information about this topic, about polymers, about materials, about properties, about everything. And now you can easily filter, for example, by patents, and look only to patents to the patent documents. And for example, you are interested in learning some materials that not available in your language and not also available in English. Sometimes Reaxys is giving you a possibility to work with information that you're not able to understand directly in English or in your local language, in your own language. If, for example, Chinese, not every one of you know Chinese. Let's limit by Chinese patents. And here you can have see a lot of document relevant to patents. The information from this patent was extracted in English and directly available. And for all the document, you can have abstracts translated to English, and you can easily understand what about this document. You can also read claims translated to English from Chinese. You can find all other, and also for sure all other information, like, for example, substances. You can also see which substances exist in this document here. And you can fully understand what is in this document. It's now we are talking about patent, but also you can see which substances and chemical reaction existing in the article, in book, in and other documents that was indexed, and from which information is extracted. And you can understand, is it necessary for you to click button full text, or is this document really interesting for you, or it's about totally different things, and you don't need this document, and you can read focus on another documents, on analysis another document, and spend to more relevant materials. Spend your time on more relevant materials. And it's only one at the moment database that have possibility to work with documents, patent documents translated to English from the non-English patents. It's really helps you to work with the materials and properties of materials. It's especially important for material science. For sure, it will help you in work with this. It's really, I think it's really helpful and will help you in the future. Also, if we are talking about material science, in Reaxys, you will find information about biomedical science, chemical and process engineering, material chemistry, information about nanotechnology, energy, and other things. The first things that you need to do, it's find the information. I already shown you how to say find information, for example, about polymers. But if you, for example, looking for some exact material, you can also able to do this with quick search, more or less clear. I hope. But let's go to another instrument, Query Builder. It's showing you. It allows you to work with professionally with a lot of chemical instruments and with material properties instruments. For example, if you need to find some material, you can usually in material science, will be working with inorganic materials, sometimes with organic materials, but very often with inorganic material. For example, you're interesting for this kind of substances, combination of aluminum and oxygen. You can, in molecular formula, place Brutta formula, and also include stars, include symbols of your chemical atoms, and also you can use table to choose some materials, some inorganic materials, like to create some inorganic materials using metals or non-metals materials that are available here. Everything you will find here. For example, oxide of aluminum. You need to find this. Click to substances, and you will find all substances in the substances database relevant to the request. A lot of aluminum oxides that information about this was extracted from the huge amount of documents. If you need it, you can easily click here, and you see that it about these materials was extracted from more than 300 documents. You can learn very easy chemical properties and look to chemical reactions to understand in which chemical reaction it's and also you can find easily other identification information, for example, identification information, spectral information. This substance is not very popular, and we have just 2 ER spectroscopy information, but for other materials you will find much more. For example, let's find other substance, much more popular substance. Usually for a popular substance you will find much more properties. I will show you it a little bit later. It's one way to find needed material, molecular formula, but also you can use quick search just to find substances that you need. It's also working very fine. But also, yes, it's some question. I allowed to speak to. You can use quick search for looking for material, and also I recommend you for inorganic for organic substances use another instrument which also in Query Builder, it's structure editor. You can draw organic material that interesting for you with the standard instrument. It's this instrument is very flexible. It's take several hours to explain all the functions and all the features about this instrument, and today we are not planning to do this. I just will show you basic functions. You will draw some material directly here, or you can for example, go to the click on the button insert from structure, insert structure from sorry. Or you can click on insert button and insert structure from name. For example, you can place here ferrocene. as a sample. I think I make the mistake in the name of substance. Sorry. Yes, of course. Insert cast number or smiles or some other identifiers that you can find. Reaxys will understand you and find needed material. You can work with this material as you want. You can make some 3D rotation of the material and other things. A lot of different things you can do. Also, you can open from your hard drive previously created structures that was created in other instrument like HemDraw, for example, or as a chemical editor that you need using. And of course, you can export it to your hard drive and choose popular formats like smiles, like chemical name, and other ways to import material, export material. Sorry. And it's this instrument also help you draw chemical reaction if you need. Just draw initial materials, initial compounds, place plus, place or arrow, and Reaxys will be looking for chemical reactions that you interested. It's another way to find materials and chemical substances. This quick search, I think it's really simple way. You just go to Reaxys to quick search, place the name of material, click find, and system will give you possibility to find this material. Here is the information that you extracted from the database about the document, and you can click here, and we will see all the documents with which contain information about related about relevant material. You can easily switch between our views, between our internal database. In reality, you have you can switch from the document view to substances view and to reaction view. And for example, in substances, you can get information about the substances very easy and work with them. For all the materials that you're finding in database, you have a lot of information extracted, physical properties, for example, physical data. It's different melting point, sublimation, density, adsorption, that very relevant for your material science and for learning of material. Sometimes you have very specific data like chromatographic data, adsorption data, crystal properties, crystal system, and much more. It's a really huge amount of information that was extracted from the huge amount of documents. It's not very easy. You can find all the properties of substance that was extracted from more than 8,000 documents. You could imagine how much time without Reaxys you need to read all this document and extract manually all this information. But now you have everything here. For example, if you're interested in to understand what is the melting point, just click to melting point, and you see measured melting point from a lot of document. And you see that different authors have different results. And because there is some errors in the measurements, and you can see method of measurement, it's also here. And if you need more detailed information, and any seconds, you can click on full text. The same story with sublimation, with adsorption, for example, the measured adsorption with a lot of content related to adsorption, and that will also extracted directly from the document. Spectral information, for example, if you needed infrared spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy, mass spectroscopy, and much more. Raman spectroscopy, all this information you can get from the database. And for more details, for pictures, you can click to full text and find this information directly in the document. Other data, it's sometimes it's there is interesting information for you how to use this, how this material is used in the industry, or in laboratories, because thiophyllene is a pharmaceutical substance, but sometimes also it's used in material science for different use, sometimes for agriculture use. You can see everything directly here in database without detailed learning of the document. Let's go back to our slides. I want to show you how to use text fields, because it's very useful, and how to use molecular formula. For example, if you're going to work with some alloys, you can use molecular formula. Place here, for example, ferrum with chromium, and find all alloys that containing iron and chromium. Click to substances. Really a lot of materials in one request, and now you can work with them. You can click on selected materials that you are interested and click to export. If you will click to export, you can choose the format of export, for example, Excel, Word, or PDF. You can click export, and all the information that Reaxys have about chromium iron base, about iron nickel chromium will be extracted. Sometimes it's really huge amount of information. It takes several 2, 3, or 10 minutes to get all this information from all the sources, from all the documents and patents and articles, and it but as a result, you will have on your hard drive all the extracted information about your material, about your substances, with the properties and with the a link to initial documents to the with links to articles, patents, and initial documents from where it was extracted. Everything that you find in Reaxys you can easily save to your hard drive. For example, if you're working with documents, you can easily click on documents, also export it to your hard drive. The same story with reactions, the chemical reaction. You can click here, and everything will be exported, including experimental procedures that was extracted from the initial document, and you can use it future in your scientific work, in your article. With it all will be also linked to initial document. It will be available for citation, and you will understand from where you got this information. And also in all these views, in all this internal database, you can have a lot of filters that help you find needed information. For example, in now we are in reaction database, we can make very fast filtering by yield. For example, find only reaction with high yield. Make additional, draw additional structure to filter organic materials with some part of structure. Filter by reagent, by catalyst. For example, if you are interested in a chemical reaction that happen in air, you can easily click to air here. For example, or solvent, you can filter by solvent. For example, you're interested only for chemical reaction that goes in water. You can also very easily filter by you will find only reactions that happen in water. And a lot of other filtering possibilities, like catalyst classes, solvent classes, product availability on the market. For example, you're interested only for chemical reaction where chemical products are available on the market. And of course, by filtering by document type, by publication year, by magazine, and so on and so on. For every substance that you're finding in Reaxys, you can easily click to here, and you will find commercial availability of this substance in different catalogs, in Sigma Aldrich, in e-molecules, and from other suppliers. If you need more detailed information, you can click always to commercial substances. It's very huge internal database with which includes all about all worldwide suppliers, and you will find really huge amount of suppliers in different countries. In this example, it's only USA and the United Kingdom, but you will able to find more information also about price, about purity, about packaging, and you will be understand how it's possible to order the substances and materials for your experiments. It will help you planning your experimental work. Do not wait too much until this material will be ordered from any supplier, and for sure do not spend time on for own synthesis of material, because the worst way is synthesis of material by your own forces. Much more effective to buy it from some chemical supplier from different catalogs. What also I want to show you, for example, you are going to work with light laws. This topic is interesting for you. You can start, for example, from quick search, place to quick search, light alloys, and find a lot of documents about this. Really huge amount of documents where in a full text of documents, 2 words light and alloys. Let's view result. Really huge amount of documents. You will spend weeks and months to analyze all of them, and sometimes probably it will be not 100% relevant, and you have what you can do. You can go back to your quick search and click to edit and query builder. It's very effective. Click on this, for example, and you it will be replaced to your current query. And here you can have a lot of text possibilities with working with text. For example, you're interested where these 2 words existing in all the document, but you can also focus on the most relevant document. You can use internal logic, for example, logic near. If you will switch to near, the database will be looking for documents where light and all alloys are together. And here you can tell to Reaxys how many words you want to see between light and alloys. It's a very effective way to find more relevant documents that more relevant for you. It's if you're working with some scientific topic, it will help you to find more relevant document and more interesting document to decrease amount of documents that you analyze and reading. Let's choose 3 words between light and alloys, click to document, and here you will find much more information about this. For example, light alloys, and it dramatically decrease amount of document for analysis. And also now you, for example, can continue looking for information. For what I can suggest you using internal filters of Reaxys. For example, very effective filter is index terms, Reaxys 3. Click here to index terms, and then you can click to view more. And depending what is interesting for you. For example, you're interested in physical-chemical analysis and methods, and very often in material science, a very popular analytical method is thermal analysis. For example, you can click to thermal analysis. If interesting only on thermogravimetric analysis, you can delete this and only focus only on thermogravimetric analysis, and click to limit to. You will be exactly find all the documents that are exactly interesting for you, that analysis of light alloys by thermogravimetric analytical method, for example. It's a very good way to find some analytical method of some materials, or some kind of scientific topic. And what, as I was telling you, what is very useful, in every document you can see easily all the substances that existing in the document. You will understand all the substances directly without the reading document, and understand is it interesting for you or not. The same story with the chemical reactions. It will really help you. I can I want to show you another interesting filter. In Query Builder, there are a lot of different filters that will help you to find needed material and needed information and needed properties. What I recommend you to place here filter use. It's very interesting filter. which help you to find application of material. Here you can place everything. For example, you can place it here. Ceramic, for example, but I recommend to use like this with star to find more relevant document, and you can easily find the documents and materials that used in ceramics, for example, and it will help you to find all materials that used in ceramics, for example. Or find document, and also all filters also available. You can continue filtering by, for example, availability on market and so on and so on. It help you to find exactly information that you need. There are a lot of different ideas that giving you Reaxys. You can use this filter used for different purposes. For example, I don't know, for lasers, for example, or light emitting. Everything you want, you can place here and find relevant document about this. And it will be much more effective than using Scopus or Science Direct, because you also make able to make in combination with other chemical filters and with, for example, with properties. For example, you can use crystallic properties here. Crystal phase, crystal system, and other things. For example, crystal system, which crystal system is used in materials. For example, you're interested in the materials and documents with the materials have cubic crystal system. It's easy to do it. Click to cubic, transfer to requests, and find this kind of materials. Also, there are a lot of different search fields to which, for example, some electrical properties, electrical moment, electric polarization, for example, magnetic properties and of materials. There are really a lot of chemical instruments that will help you to find different kind of material with unique properties that exactly need for you. For example, optical data, data about absorption, and so on and so on. And it's really help you to find material with unique combination of properties, which will help you to find unique material. And you will be able to analyze also these properties of the substance. Some decomposition, for example, temperature of decomposition, and other fields that help you to really to find unique material. Or for example, azeotropes. It's also useful for material science. It's a long time to show you all these examples, but you can try to use these filters and try to find these materials that will be interesting for you. It's just to give two idea how to use Reaxys to find unique materials that are interesting for you. Also, very interesting filter, titles, abstracts, and keywords. It's also here in Reaxys. You're going to Query Builder, and here you can find titles, abstracts. Let's delete everything. Here you can place whatever you want, and it's also you can combine with molecular formula, with structure editor, with any other filters, with spectral, physical properties, and other information, bibliography information, so on and so on. Or by filter by document, by author, by and by other things. It's some ideas how to use it. This example I think already shown you. Also, I was showing you example with commercial availability of substance, but sometimes it's also there is interesting filter isolated from natural source. For example, you can place here oil, some mineral, or some for example, I don't know, some plant, and find all the material that isolated from this natural source. Might be it will be also help you to find some interesting application for you. Data expert I already shown you. Okay, this is more or less everything that I was planning to show you today that related to material science. Hopefully it was interesting for you. And now I think we have about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm able to answer to your questions. Do not hesitate to ask your questions, colleagues. Might to be we have a question in chat. Yes. Please at time attend the webinars and conferences. It's from organizers about certificates. Does Reaxys replace SciFinder? I see. I do not think so. It's different databases. Reaxys more or less cover all the content of SciFinder, but I do not have any information that that it's replacing. It's if Reaxys really covering all the content of SciFinder. Previously, SciFinder was a little bit more coverage in SciFinder patent information, but now in Reaxys we have more information than in SciFinder. For example, until the end of May, it will be 100% coverage of patents more than in SciFinder. Export doesn't work with me. Yes, it's important moment. If you're going to export the information, you need to use a password. You need to. I will sign out. If you want to use. You need to be registered and sign in the Reaxys using your registered login and password. You can always you can use the same password and login that you are using in Scopus and in Science Direct and SciVal and in other Elsevier tools. We have all one account and one registration data for all accounts. And only after you signing in Reaxys, you will have possibility to save all results to your hard drive. It's need me to log in while I'm already working. Okay, if you have this some kind of question, I will give you my email. If you have some problems with Reaxys, feel free to contact me. Here's my email. I will help you to find what is wrong. I will give it to everyone. This is my email. Going over your messages. Can Reaxys help in determination of gen sequences? It's a pity, but in the moment not. Gen sequences is not working, but you can use Cas number, and with long molecules, it's really not working. But for sure will be working later. Does Elsevier offer any database cellular signaling pathways? We have in Reaction additional module, Reaxys medicinal chemistry, with information about targets and affinity of targets, some information about cytotoxicity, for example, HERC inhibition and other biological information, but it's additional module. And also we have database pathway studio that allowing really huge intellectual information work with the pathway, but it's another database. Sorry, it's another instrument. But you have in additional module, there is really a lot of instrument with working biological properties of substances. It's really great instrument with working with biologicals. If you are interested in it, do not hesitate to ask me. Again, my email. If you need additional information, I can help you. Looking for other. I think no. Any other questions? If I missed something, please send a question to my email. Yes, nanoformulation can be searched also on thanks. Nanoformulation. Okay, it's interesting question. I think I can organize. I will show some examples for you individually, because I'm not fully understand what you're asking. Herba Elmotasim. You can send a question directly to my email, because I really not have full understanding. Isolate new compound and I don't know its name. Yet couldn't search Reaxys to know if it's new or search on nearest structure it's. Okay, Astra Rafat, I will answer you individually. I will write you a letter to understand what is this. Okay, I think our webinar going to the end. Thank you very much for your attending.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alexei, for this very informative webinar. Actually, our audience are giving us a very nice feedback till now. And I think you have gone through all the questions and you have kept your email available for everyone to communicate with you if they have any further questions. We have given you in the chat box the link for registration for the certificates, and you have the Google Drive link also to get your certificates within 5 to 10 minutes from your submission of the certificate form. Thank you very much for attending today. I would like to remind you all that we will be having our next webinar within the Reaxys series on next March 11th. And please follow our website for further information and downloading the participant guide with the proposed agenda for the next webinar. If you have any suggestions, you are more than welcome to suggest it within the certificate form. Now you have to fill. You have a question about your feedback, which is very important to us. We have also a question about what would you like to learn more with Elsevier NFC webinar series and Reaxys series. So we are very eager to know your feedback and know if you have any other propositions for what we can help you with in our upcoming webinars. Thank you very much for being with us, Mr. Alexi, and we're looking forward to meet you again on our next webinar. Thank you all for being here today and have a nice day.
Thank you, Dr. El Mohami, and see you on other our events. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.